Hello and welcome, it's Rooflemonger, and we have another installment of our tips and tricks series, today going over the newly released Starfire. So in this video we're going to be going over some of her stuff with her trait, her 2-3 string, which is fantastic, a note about her jumping attacks, also fantastic, some of her anti-air stuff, and a bunch of other stuff. So without any further ado, let's go into it. So the first thing to go over is her trait. So if you played with it at any amount at all, you've probably figured out, you hit it, you get a beam, you jump with it, you get a beam. You can meter burn it, you can hold it, and that's kind of what I want to, I guess, warn you against, is holding it. So if you just see here, I'm going to hold it again, and we're dry. If you look at the trait, nothing coming out. So if you want to hold it twice, you're completely dry. And if you just tap it for one hit, you can get 5 uses out of it before it runs out. So I don't want to completely discourage you from using the hold, but if you got to use it in neutral, so when you're like back and forth, like that, you'll get the most benefit of the extra damage, because it scales horrifically in combos. So just a quick example here, let's try it out and do a combo example. Let's try one more time. So that's one hit, 348. Now we're going to try it again holding it. $362. So for burning half that bar, we got the privilege of getting about 10 damage. And that's, unless it's the kill, that's just never going to be worth it. The reason this trait is good at what it is, because obviously she has like other fireballs, other ranged options and all that, is it's a beam, and if you're not familiar with what the significance of a beam in a fighting game, is it hits at all points concurrently while it's on the screen. So you can be right beside them, or you can be full screen. It hits at the same time regardless. It is all points at once. So to have this on the board and to constantly threaten with it, or even if you're not currently using it, but just the fact that like, hey, at any point, even regardless of distance, I'm always got the ability to be on you. As for the threat of the beam, you know, Green Lantern has to burn a whole bar for the privilege of having a beam, right? And she gets it as a trait. So, unless you're going to get the kill, I highly suggest please just tap, don't hold, because you want as many uses of this as possible. Oh, and as a quick note, if you do EX it, the EX part is a mid, so no ducking it. Now, next up I'd like to mention her standing 2-3 string, which is fantastic. It is one of the best hit confirm strings in the game. It also leads to one of our main sources of damage, which is the EX ball here. It is just great. Like, you have so long to confirm your hit, so, like, look at that. And if you're if you happen to be unfamiliar with hit confirming, what you do here is we'll set our AI to block on random combo. So sometimes you'll block, sometimes you won't, right? And this move lasts so long you have time to visually confirm, you know, whether or not it's a hit or block, and you can go from there. So if it's a hit, you know, combo time. If it's a block, you can just finish the string, which is string starter 2-3 is 2-3-2, and is merely -1 on block. So not a lot of, you know, penalty for that, and you know, against someone who doesn't have a 6-frame move, all of a sudden you're even because you have a 6-frame down 1 jab. So it is just fantastic that you just got so much time to visually confirm whether or not you can go into your combo, or whether or not you gotta just bite the bullet and be -1, but still way better than, you know, just going for a combo or not. It's just, once again, sorry I'm gushing about it, but I can't stress enough, for hit confirms, this is one of the best in the game by a mile, and you're going to be using it a lot. Okay, so now I just gushed about how fantastic 2-3 is, so I want to gush about the other thing that's fantastic for normals, and that's jumping 3. Because jumping 3, if it was just by itself, is already one of the best cross-ups in the game, because it arcs, and you can just so easily get, like, you know, whatever little combo afterwards. You got a lot of time to confirm, give it a down 1 into the spin, finish with a trait, you know, 278, that's good quarter damage, quarter life, just off a simple cross-up for no bar. But what makes it beyond just good is the fact that you have 4 different jump 3s. So you have jump 3, she does the arc. You can hold back while you're jumping, and it could be any jump. and hit 3, and then it arcs differently. It arcs in the exact opposite way, as you can see here. And you can hold up, and that arc now hits all the way to the ground, or hold down, and the arc hits all the way on the ground the other way. So first off, let's just talk about those. So in and of itself, since it touches the whole ground, you see here it cuts off the ground, you can now threaten your potential jump attack earlier than it should hit. Like versus just like a standard jump attack, right? So you can go peek your jump, whoops, peek your jump, and you've already connected. In other games, you can kind of cut your jump early into attack by dive kicks. Now, this is obviously isn't a dive kick because it's not arcing your angle of attack in the traditional sense of the meaning, but since your attack can come a lot earlier in the jump than it would normally, like I'm not even yet at the apex of my jump and I'm already hitting. And it can hit from quite a good distance away, as you can see here. So it lets you have a traditional or non-traditional arc of attack, which is fantastic. And once again, you can do it in reverse by holding up. So that's great. And about the reversed spin, so normally you're spinning clockwise, and if you hold back while doing it, you're spinning counterclockwise. So this, in essence, creates a true 50-50. I've tried to set myself up to defend against this, and I had no real luck against it other than, you know, correctly guessing after a while. So if you just do jump 3, go over their head, you'll get a cross up. Easy peasy. However, right at the peak of your jump, if you just hit back 3, it's no longer cross up. And you still get the same combo opportunities as you did with the cross up, right? So in essence, every time you jump from roughly this distance, you are now putting your opponent into a coin flip situation, unless they have an exceptionally vertical uppercut, like say Grodd or something, that can catch you very quickly, very high up in the air. So it could just simply be, oh, I'm going for the regular cross up, whatever. But then it could be also be, oh, I stayed the same side, now that you're conditioned to block the cross up. You just went to block the other way, I came the same side. Combo time, so be it. So it's rare, especially in Injustice anyways, that this kind of situation can exist at all. So the jump does not change either way. The angle of attack is exactly the same either way, and you just dictate whether you hit cross up or not. Alright, and now going from that, a quick note about the sweep. So her regular down 3 is honestly whatever, but she has a hold down forward 3, and the range is quite a bit increased, as you can see here. Now this is actually a fantastic footsie tools from my, you know, admittedly limited time playing her on day 1. But quick note here is, it's part of the reason why I got Superman as a dummy here. Against the floaters, so Superman, Supergirl, Black Adam, and the like, keep in mind, so from roughly around this range, this should hit everyone, except the floaters. Because the hitboxes are somewhat what you see, what you get. So there we go. When he changes his idle animation, his foot dips just a smidge, so I'm able to hit him. But this actually makes them effectively immune to the move and the way you'd want to use it normally. So now to use it, you got to get even closer, which not as useful, obviously. So keep in mind when you're fighting against the floaters that the secret sweep, at least was originally termed with Gorilla Rod, the long sweep. This sweep is nowhere near as useful against the floating characters as everyone else in the cast. Alright, so next up I want to mention her anti-air game, which is pretty fantastic as well. So you have down 2 and back 2 as the main anti-airs you want to use. So what makes these moves good is there's no hurt box on the hitting part. So when she shoots her little eye lasers here, the eye lasers can hit, but they cannot be hit back. You have to actually hit her in the head to knock her out of the move. And same deal with the back too. These little explosions, they hit the foe pretty dang good, but you actually have to hit her to knock her out of the move. And she not only is hiding behind it, she's actively moving backwards while doing it. So we have Superman set up here just to do a basic jump attack. So nothing you haven't seen before. Basic jump 2 here. And I just want to demonstrate here. So as long as you're on the ball, because if you're slow, you're still going to get bopped regardless. The down 2 can really hit from a good distance away here. The further back, the better, really. Once again, they actually have to hit her in the head for the move to connect. This isn't a situation where like most people have like a Mortal Kombat style uppercut or something where you can still hit them if you hit the hand. For her, you have to hit her in the head or you're not going to move. Like right there, Superman's tip of his hands hit the head, so connected. But if you're anywhere near the laser parts, right there, you have no chance of beating it. Like, this is a goodly while away as well. Now, same deal for the back two. Back two, I find it's a bit better if they're closer on the initial jump. So once again, you know, can't be slow like I'm being slow right here, right? But as long as you're on the ball, you get your back two, and you can either trade sometimes, or you get your hit, and it'll go from there. Now, quickly, I want to show you 2 example combos off these. Alright, so first up, we're just going to show off the down 2. Quick and easy. The back 2, you can actually get a bit more damage because you can get a back 3 off of it. So it's a decent chunk, good chunk of damage more than the down 2. So when possible, you should be going for the back 2, just so you can get the wall bounce and get your damage. In closing for this video, it's going to be one more final gush. So we gushed over, 2, 3, all the versions of jumping 3, the sweep, which, once again, buyer beware against the floaters, but I want to talk about her forward 3, because it breaks a lot of the rules of the game, how forward 3s tend to work. So first off, not only is she not moving forward, she's actually moving very slightly backwards. And once again, just like with all the moves that have the laser in them, the laser has a hitbox, it has no hurtbox, so if you want to knock her out of this, you have to go and actually hit her where she currently is. So this is a great button that you can kind of contest, basically contest the lane in footsies. Like, to get in against this, you gotta jump. And once again, jumping is not a great option against her. And just like all 4-3s, it's very plus on block. And you can kind of really abuse this at a max distance. Like, even at the worst distance, you can always hit something. Like, that's still respectable, and it only gets more dangerous as it goes on. So on top of all these fantastic things, it's hard to hit her while she's doing it. It's easier for her to hit you. It's plus on block. You get combos no matter where. It is also a low crush. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the term, the fact that she's a bit airborne while doing the move, that counts towards her hurt box, and you simply can't hit her while with a low or anything of the like while she's in the air. So we have Superman set here to do his sweep. I'm sure you've seen it before. So as long as we time it correctly, right there, he can sweep under all he wants, but she's simply not there to be hit. And you can get like whatever combo have you after that, right? But if you were fighting someone like, say, a good Scarecrow really wants to abuse his down 3, right? And Scarecrow has a roughly contestable range with the forward 3. You can simply be in the air, it whiffs, you get a hit, get a combo, go from there. So basically the lesson of Starfire is she's not really a combo monster by any stretch. Almost everything revolves around EX Ball. Like, pretty much. Otherwise, it's just going to be like, a very simple combo into the air lasers into a trade or something like that. But what she does have is very, very good normal. So the sweep, the forward 3, the super easy hit confirm they can make very safe on block. That's kind of her game. She's very simplistic in the end, but simple never means bad. Usually in fighting games it means quite the opposite. Complexity can necessarily only, hurt a character. Gorilla Grodd is a pretty complex character. He has a lot of tough links. He's got all sorts of cancels. The cancels are tough. Has all sorts of weird setups. And Gorilla Grodd, frankly, sucks. So she's simple and she's strong, and you don't need much to win with her. You just need, a good critical thinking to know when, to apply pressure with the trade, or use a regular fireball, or perhaps the firecrackers, or what have you. And when you get in, just simple pressure, easy combos, and that's all you really need to win, and she's got those tools. So if you like a simple game plan, Starfire is your girl. Absolutely. And if you want something more complex, well, she doesn't really necessarily have, at least off day 1. I could be completely blown out of the water and wrong, 2 weeks from now when it turns out she's the most complex character in the game or something, right? But as of the moment, she's quite easy to use. Anyways, I hope this video found you well. Hope Starfire is interesting to you. New DLC characters are always fun. And go out and play some Injustice.